You're watching NFL Daily. I am Tom Downey. Our Wednesday live shows, we do one mailbag. We answer all of your questions live. The mailbags are done live, so the only way to be a part of them is to be subscribed. So if you want your questions answered, if you want to have some of this during our live shows, make sure you guys are subscribed. YouTube.com/chatsportstv. Hit that sub button so you don't miss out on anything here at Chat Sports. A $5 super chat to begin from George Lopez. What's the latest on Tony and Gallup? Excuse me, I'm Bo Jackson hiccuping here. Thanks for the draft hat. Well, thank you, George. We appreciate your support here, my friend. Glad it arrived on time. Tony Pollard, I'm not that worried about Pollard. I know it continues to be reported of broke his leg, needed surgery. He broke his leg and he needed surgery, but he did not need surgery for the broken leg. The leg fracture healed on its own. It was the ankle that required surgery, the tightrope ankle procedure. I think he's going to be good to go for camp. Gallup, I don't know, man. I hope he's better. The Cowboys restructured to show some confidence in him, but he didn't have confidence last year. They need good Gallup back, or it's not going to be ideal. From RC Plane Builder 2, the second account. Falcons win 11 games, take first place in the NFC South, and make the divisional round. That means Desmond Ridder took a big-time step forward. Now, I could see a scenario where somebody wins 11 games in NFC South. It's not a great division, you know. Tampa's rebuilding. The Saints are viewed as the betting favorite, but it's not like Derek Carr's a top 10 quarterback. Ridder and Young have upside, probably a bit more with Young being the number one overall pick, but those teams are coming off not great years. NFC South is gettable for, I would say, all four teams. Jewelor, what opponent should the Niners be worried about this season? Whoever you play week 1, week 2, because that's just, you know, how it tends to go. The Niners start a little bit slowly. I think the other main contenders in the NFC, in some order, Philadelphia, Dallas stand out. And, you know, if a team like the Rams figures things out again, cool. Seattle will be solid. The Niners should be viewed as one of, if not the favorites, though, in the NFC. Jeff from Jump Street. Is this 21? Yeah, there you go. Matt Stafford getting traded this year. I have always been very confused by the claims from... I think it was Mike Lombardi who just like misses things all the time. Yeah, you got Gilmore right off my crap list, then went right back on it because he got more things wrong. By the Matthew Stafford trade rumors. Matthew Stafford's contract isn't tradable for LA unless they're trying to fully tear it down and get a bunch of picks back. The dead cap number on Matthew Stafford is $74 million. If the Rams traded Matthew Stafford right now, that is what they would be paying him. That doesn't make any sense. That's not how NFL teams do business. They would not eat that massive number of dead cap unless they're getting just massive picks back for a long-term rebuild. It makes a little bit more sense post-June 1st, but the Rams are still going to be paying Matthew Stafford more to not be on their roster for the next 2 years if they traded him. I don't think that's what the team wants to do. Even if they're clearly rebuilding on defense or resetting on defense, not the same thing on offense. So prediction time with Matthew Stafford. It's worked for the Rams. They won the title. F them picks worked. But will they make the playoffs again with Matthew Stafford? Y for yes, N for no. It is the pinned comment on today's show. If an ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and go vote Y or N. Carter Reimer, does Brock Bowers fall to pick 32 for Miami next year? First off, I love the putting the Dolphins at 32. Power move there. The answer is no. I don't think he falls to pick 22 or probably not pick 12. Tight end value is a bit wonky. How many tight ends can we count that can take reverses and jet sweep handoffs and score from 60 yards out? Not many. He's going to be a very early pick this year, or I guess next year. That one Falcons fan, please, for the love of God, tell my Falcons to sign Yanninck Ngakoue. I actually like what Atlanta did on defense, and if they didn't sign Bud Dupree, I think they'd have a lot more interest. But remember, they drafted Zach Harrison in the third. They have Arnold Ebiketie last year, D'Angelo Malone. Short term makes sense. Long term, I think they still want to give some reps to some of those younger edge rushers. From Vince, what does it mean for the future that matches between two playoff caliber teams like Bills, Jags, KC, Miami come to Europe? I think the NFL is trying to give some good games to their international overseas matchups, right? Like Bills, Jags. Well, remember, Jacksonville always plays there. So Jacksonville being good is good for the NFL international games. Chiefs, Miami, they're a pretty good football game. Other matchups like when the Titans and Falcons play might not be as good for the NFL, but they do want to give some good games to help continue to grow. And I think they want to put Jacksonville over there all the time to make Jacksonville the NFL London team, basically. From Parlay, first off, this is an on-brand name for this question. What do you make of the illegal betting from players? Don't be stupid, guys. Jameson Williams, I am convinced this is what happened. They were at the facility. They got the Woj tweet of someone being out, and they tried to beat the books. What's what we do all the time. We try to beat the books. Got the news. Let's get a bet in real quick. Can't do it in the team facility. There is I don't know if double standard's the right word, but a weird dichotomy of, NFL is, there are sports books in the stadium, but you can't bet. Players can't be using sports book apps at the facility. There's a weird double standard there, but you can't bet on games. You cannot bet on the NFL standpoint. I would almost say maybe the whole betting in facilities fine. I think that might need to go, but if you're betting on games, you're just an idiot. You passed you failed the stupidity test. Just don't do it. It's that simple. EK28, will the Chiefs repeat? Probably not. Repeating is really hard in any sport. So, betting favorite? Sure. Will they? I'll take the field. Now, who do you have winning the Super Bowl this year? Chiefs, Philly, Niners, Bills, Bengals. Can't believe that last two teams are real answers in the same year. Who do you have winning? Sound off in the comment section right now. Patrick, 1963. If you could redo the draft for any team you want, who would you choose and why? Ooh, it's a good question. Do you mean if they could redo it, would they make changes? I think there will be a couple of teams you're like, the board really did not fall the way we thought we were going to. Maybe the Jets. Maybe if the Jets knew that the Steelers were going to snipe them on Broderick Jones, they would find a way to trade back up to get him, because I know that they wanted him and not Will McDonald. For just the teams that I didn't like, can I make the Niners not take a kicker in the top 100? Because that's a bad idea. I don't like those ideas at all. From Botted Boys 133, where does Henry go? Cowboys still or Eagles? I think this is Derrick Henry. I don't think he's going anywhere. I've never really bought into the Derrick Henry trade idea. I think Mike Vrabel wants to run the football too much. I think Vrabel still wants to win games, even if the rest of the roster is still kind of being retooled, reset a little bit. Eagles got DeAndre Swift because they are the Georgia Eagles, the Philadelphia Bulldogs, but I don't think either team is really in the market for Derrick Henry. Christian Navarro, Tom, which NFL team will have the hardest schedule for 2023? I know that the strength of schedule stuff was released. The NFC South, I think, has the easiest slate of games. The NFC East actually has it pretty bad. I would look at a team like the Commanders, because you're playing 3 playoff teams in division, Giants, Eagles, and Cowboys, and you have some pretty tough crossover games, in the NFC, in the AFC East, which is maybe the best division in football. You get the NFC West for some games. So that's maybe the Commanders, when it's all said and done, it's wow, they played a really tough schedule. XD Gamer 22, thoughts on Deshaun Watson in his situation. Massage Boy, look, I think I've made, by that kind of comments alone, I think I've made my thoughts clear on Deshaun Watson. But the football player, he's got to be better. I think you can make an argument that Jacoby Brissett outplayed Deshaun Watson last year, which is not good. Now, he was away from football for a long time. In theory, he ends up playing better. The Browns need him to, because if he plays like he did last year, Stefanski's getting fired. So subscribe for the best NFL, NBA, NFL, and college football videos right here on YouTube. They are free, and they always will be, multiple times per day, every single day. Do not miss out. Hit that sub button, youtube.com/chatsportstv. Tomcat, great first name, and that looks like a evil Yoda. What is up with the Commanders and the tampering charges? So background here is it was reported that the Commanders midseason reached out to Andrew Luck through a third party to gauge his interest in coming out of retirement, which he was not going to. Waste of time, just like how they wasted time calling the Chiefs about Patrick Mahomes. Stupid. Here's the problem. The Colts hold Andrew Luck's contract rights, and they would have to go through the Colts first. So if that did happen, that is by definition tampering. And we saw the NFL come down hard on Miami. There is a new owner coming in for Washington. Maybe the NFL doesn't want to start the new owner off without a draft pick. Maybe they fast track it and find Daniel Snyder as a result. I don't think major happens, but if it's true, it is by definition tampering. From Mr. Jones, how stupid are the Titans drafting Will Levis over Hendon Hooker? Instant triple fan base and better quarterback. I don't think you triple the fan base overnight by drafting a Tennessee quarterback. I don't think that's actually how things get done because you're already Tennessee's team. And I think if drafting a Kentucky quarterback versus a Tennessee quarterback is a reason why a fan is no longer a fan or is a fan, that's not going to be a long-term one either. That's going to be a short-term one, or the type of fan that goes to a Titans game in a Peyton Manning Tennessee jersey when they're playing the Colts. I don't know if that's what you really want there. Hooker's better right now, but he's also 25 years old coming off torn ACL, and Levis has more upside. I'm not convinced either guy is great, but prospect-wise, I actually had Levis over Hendon Hooker. I actually had Hooker exactly where he went, so I call that a win for myself. Tom's burner page. Will the Titans, speaking of, trade Ryan Tannehill? I don't think so, in large part because who wants Ryan Tannehill right now? Does anyone? Maybe if the Jets didn't get Aaron Rodgers, it could have made some sense, but the Bucs aren't adding Ryan Tannehill. The Packers aren't. I think it's one more year of Tannehill and then give Will Levis the reins, see if he's good. If not, they can draft a new quarterback in 2, 3, whatever years. When it comes to trades, by the way, name a player who you would like to see traded. Sound off in the comment section right now. A $5 super chat from Mark. Thank you, Mark. It came in Sam's 60-second guarantee. The tight end pick over Osiris Torrance will haunt us. We did quite well until JJ wanted projects in this draft. JJ's as useful as a preacher's wife at a strip club. That is a unique analogy, Mark. I appreciate that one, my friend. Okay, I think they really wanted a tight end. I think they kind of forced the tight end pick in the end. From Chill Will, how many more years do you think Travis Kelce can perform at an elite level? It's a really good question. I do think Travis Kelce has, I don't know, I'll call it kind of the Witten in him of I think he'll play for a very long time. I think the 1,000-yard seasons he's been on since 2016, let that sink in for a second, probably about to wind down. I mean, he turns 34 this year. So the elite 1,000-yard campaigns, maybe 1 or 2 years. The still getting 700-plus yards, maybe he could be Antonio Gates. Maybe he can play that well for that long. John Dorman. Top 3 surprise teams. Ooh, good question. I assume we want to go in a positive standpoint here, right? We don't want to be all negative and predict the busts there. So I'll go positive. Jets are too obvious. I think the Patriots will be better than people think. That probably means around 9 wins, but that's what they do under Bill Belichick. Insert NFC South team here. Somebody has to win that division. One of them will surprise from that standpoint. I want to say the Bears are going to surprise too, but I'm not overly confident in that one. And I'll go. If Anthony Richardson has a quicker than expected adjustment time frame, Indy makes a lot of sense. Maybe it's Tennessee, Indy, or Houston wins 8 or 9 games this upcoming year.